There are a number of qualities necessary for someone wanting to become a radio journalist or indeed presenter. You have to really want to become one because the demands are great, particularly at the start of a career. In this island, many broadcast staff used to be trained on the job, starting perhaps with occasional unpaid work to learn the ropes before becoming proficient enough to take on a full-time role. Taking responsibility for the news is usually done in stages, with a more experienced journalist present to offer guidance. Here, Amanda Craig described her tentative first steps and the pitfalls waiting in ambush.
One day I remember my first interview ever, I was sent out to interview the winners of a young person's competition, and they'd set up and run a company for 5 months, and there was a presentation dinner at one of the big hotels, and I turned up with my press badge and everything, very proud, and went into the dining room, and they'd said, right, guess just a few minutes with these people and we'll put it on the news. So we're sitting around, everybody eating their dinner and everything, and I sort of set off, and I thought, oh, this is a good time, everybody's relaxed, I'll interview them over the table. And we were sitting there eating and interviewing at the same time, and I sort of didn't think anything of it, and this is really before I knew how a tape recorder worked. And got back to the station afterwards, and they said, oh, how did it go? And I said, oh, the meal was very nice, things like that. And took the tape into the news booth to play it, just to pick a piece to put on the news. And we put it on, and all I had on the tape was like 365 people eating, and no sound, no interview, just all this eating noise, because it literally drowned out the interview. The noise of all the people in the background was incredible.
So that was into the bin?
That was into the bin, that one, and Charles Gard said to me, he said, next time, he said, don't interview in a room full of people, he said, even if you have to go into the gentlemen's toilets, go somewhere quiet, and I've never forgotten that. No.
Right. When you get trained a little and you're put on to early morning news reading, is that an exciting time? Is it?
It's a bit of a shock, actually. For a start, you've never really seen dawn before, unless you're getting on a boat or something like that. So it was quite exciting, because Sheena broke me into the early morning news things, and she used to meet me at the top of the road up by Rosemount traffic lights and pick me up in the car, and we'd be huddled in the doorway in our woolly jackets and everything, and we'd get up there and have a few cups of coffee and get down to work.
What time would this be?
Oh, it's really early now. If it's the weekend shift, it's about 6:15, 6 o'clock in the morning, and it's dead quiet, and there's not a soul around, and you're sitting there at the traffic lights thinking, on red, and nobody else is there, and you're thinking, come on, we've got to get to work. And anyway, the shock of it was, I think, realising how dreadful everybody looks in the morning, because usually you see them with their professional faces on.